Hey, I'm the Dr. Bob Lee from 107.5 WPLS. You're watching Open. Welcome back. Our next guest is a diabetes and heart disease expert and the founder and CEO of Monitor My Health Incorporated. He's with us today to share very important information that can help people maintain healthy lifestyles. So please welcome to the show, Dr. Dana P. Wade. Doctor, welcome.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here, and I'm happy to take part to this interview, and I'm looking forward to answer all your questions.
Doctor, you're also the founder and CEO of Excellent Health. How do you blend the two together? Are they the same thing, or they within the same company, or subsidiary of one?
Absolutely, great question. Monitor My Health, it's a not-for-profit organization. As a not-for-profit, we gear it towards helping people in the community that cannot afford or that need substantial help with their lifestyle and with to prevent chronic disease, obesity, hypertension, and other cardiovascular disease, even some cancer. So the thing is that lifestyle care is a stage where you address the disease before its full manifestation.
Yes.
And sometimes it's looked upon as a luxury because in our community, people who have limited resources, they have hard time already addressing the problem when they have it. And when you talk about preventing it, it looks like a very far shot for them to attend. So we help them, we bridge the gap into providing them and bringing a service that is very helpful to them, but that they might not otherwise access to it. So that is the mission of Monitor My Health. We focus primarily on underserved and vulnerable population. Now, Excellent Health on the other side, it's a for-profit organization, and it's a different business model. But they have the same mission, yes. Pardon?
They work hand in hand because you're helping them find degenerative diseases before they start. And then if you don't find them before they start, or even if you do, you can help them out with the other organization that's for-profit organizations.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
So give us a little background. How did you get involved in all of this? I mean, what piqued your interest?
Yes. That's a very good question. Thank you for asking this question. I have this question all the time. I discovered my passion into a lifestyle change program when I was doing my fellowship at Albert Einstein School of Medicine. I was part of a research study. It's called the Study of Latinos. And that study was mainly about studying the cultural influence in the genesis of cardiovascular disease. Meaning, what does that mean? It means that how habits, the lifestyle, the eating habit, the physical activity, all other component of the culture can influence whether somebody develop heart disease or not. So through that research, I appreciate the impact of the lifestyle.
Yeah.
And not only that, I also discovered something very eye-opening that actually most chronic disease can be detected 2 to 5 years before they manifest. And at that stage of the disease, most people do not know that they have it. We call it the preclinical stage. And that was a light bulb to me because most of these chronic diseases understand this when they develop. The best we can do is to manage them. There's no cure the way we are thought, right? There's no cure for them. So if something has no cure and you can see it before it manifests itself, and at that stage, you can reverse it, because if you detect it at a preclinical stage, you can reverse it without medication, without the need of medication, or very low those medication. So I think that's what I call the sweet spot. That's like
That's sweet
the
spot.
holy grail. Exactly, yes. So at that stage, then you can reverse it. So when I found out, I said, why do we wait until the disease is manifested before we spend all this money, all these resources, and the best we can do is just keep them alive with the chronic diseases. Where or if we intervene maybe a couple of years earlier, we can prevent it from even happening or significantly delay it. So I made it my mission. When I found out, I think, I went to med school. I want to be a doctor to make a difference.
Yeah.
And I think I will make more difference if I'm able to prevent something that otherwise might not be curable if it manifests itself.
Yeah.
Rather than just write prescription and keep them, and we know how it works with chronic diseases. People do not take the medication because of side effects and so on and so forth. So it was not a winning streak for me to manage the disease, but to prevent it was a better, impact.
So, Doc, what are some of the biggest challenges in the Black and brown communities facing heart disease and diabetes?
Yes, the big challenge.
And
yes.
in addition to that, does COVID-19 or did COVID-19 exacerbate the diseases that were already there?
Yes, so the very good question. So let's start first with how does chronic disease affect the Black and brown community? We are African American and Spanish and Latino are traditionally at high risk for developing type 2 diabetes. Why? Because we are genetically predisposed first to gain weight. How does that happen? So let me go to the basic. So our diet is rich in carbohydrates, right? So the dietary aspect of the Black and brown community already put a high risk in terms of increasing the amount of sugar. Remember, rice, pasta, yuca, and other staples in our community, they all
Doctor, you're
break down.
making me hungry, but I know those foods are very, very good, especially when they hook them up with the salsa and the taste and all that stuff. But it's not necessarily always good for the body nutritionally.
No, absolutely, because also our response, because when you eat those carbohydrates, we secrete something called insulin that help actually put those carbohydrates away, that help them transform that into energy, right? So
yes.
they use it like fuel. So the problem is that we over response genetically, we have a bigger response to those carbohydrates by putting more insulin. So the problem is that
you're draining your pancreas of the insulin because of the foods that you're eating.
You got it. Like so now we
it out.
Absolutely, you got it. So at the end, we become insulin resistant, right? Yeah. And that is the first step of type 2 diabetes. We start by being insulin resistant. So when this resistance linger for a long time, it then is progressed to type 2 diabetes. And that is how we become a high risk. So, that makes sense.
So give us a couple of tips before you go.
Yeah. So the tips is that we need to moderate our consumption of carbohydrates, right? So here's the tips. The winning recipe is that half of our calorie intake should come from non-starchy vegetable, right? A quarter from carbohydrate. So this is not an exclusive diet. This is not a place to say that, oh, you're never gonna eat again your carb. We need the carb, but no more than a quarter, 25% of our total daily calorie intake should come from carbohydrate, and another quarter should come from protein. So these are three main aspects of the diet that we should look at. Non-starchy vegetable, which should be half of our calorie intake, and then a quarter from starch and another quarter from protein. If we do this, we will lower the insulin. Remember this name. we will lower the insulin resistance, and that will delay or reverse most of the metabolic. Yes, type 2 diabetes, for example. Yes.
Doctor, thank you so much. Is there a website we can go to find out more about you?
Yes, absolutely. So monitor www.monitormyhealth.org. This is the website. You can go there and see more information. And also we are providing free screening for type 2 diabetes and for pre-diabetes. And we also offer a program where people at high risk can enroll and have help from a professional lifestyle coach to help them with their lifestyle change. And we support them throughout a year. So it's a year-long program where we help them with their dietary, with physical activities, with stress management, and other lifestyle aspects. We also address the social determinant of health. As you know, that in the brown and Black community, there are other factors that contribute to chronic diseases other than direct health issues. So we also help them, connect them with resources and that increase stress on their health. So,
and that's on the website. What's the website one more time?
Website is www.monitormyhealth.org. O-R-G.
Yeah. Dr. Dana P. Wade, MD, MBA, founder and CEO of Monitor My Health Incorporated, and founder and CEO of Excellent Health. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you, sir. It's my pleasure.
Okay. All right, we'll take a break right here. A whole lot more coming up next on Open.